What's up? It's Gabe Jones. It's Into Final Space and a super awesome episode for you today. I had the incredible chance to attend the Final Space Season 2 premiere party where we had an awesome Q&A session with Olan Rogers and Coty Galloway talking about Final Space as well as the first two episodes of this incredible Season 2. I've got the recording here for you today thanks to the incredible folks over at the Soda Parlor, and I'm going to play that for you guys. Warning in advance, unfortunately, due to some audio stuff, we didn't get all the questions, but you do have the answers straight from Olan and Coty, and they got some context to it. So we're going to dive right in, and I got some stuff for you guys at the end of the episode, so keep listening.
Yeah. Anybody at all? Anybody out there that wants to ask a question, just raise your hand. Anybody else? What do you got?
Like it's based on like the animation and how and stuff. Is that okay?
Yeah.
No.
So, I noticed the animation looks like it's plussed a lot, which is really cool. Who animated Clarence in the first shot where he was doing the monologue? It looks really, really good. Was it one of the animator leads? Because it looks fantastic.
I have no idea what person animated that specific scene. I do know that Jamfield in Ottawa, Canada, animates the show, and yeah, they're great. They're so good.
Yeah.
And essentially, the first season, I think it's like they might not have known what the show was, but the stuff that they sent back was already like some of the best stuff that you would see anywhere. Season 2, I think because we did so much comping on the first season, like they sent stuff back and we did a lot of After Effects comping, like on every single shot. And then when they saw what was on, what essentially went on the air, they were like, wait, this isn't what we sent you. We can do this. And then they kind of took over on season 2, and they it's insane how much they plussed it just on their own, like, them wanting to do it. So well, I don't know. Douglas Scott was the guy that animated it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I enjoy that whole thing as well. The dance scene, all the acting in that, the
so
movement, it's so fluid. I mean, those thighs, good. Right? Jeez.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think specific shots they took and really did some stuff by hand. You can tell, like they were like, this is a moment. Let's kind of make this a moment. And specifically when Gary stands up and he's like, what kind of frost bear would murder innocent rainbow cookies? Like you can tell, like just the way that looks. You're like, there's something different about that. And they do that in a lot of episodes. Mm-hmm. Specifically, like as it gets later down the road, they're really impressive. Who else? You rose your hand second. Tell me. What do you got? Oh, yeah. You noticed it, huh? That song in particular, with the When the Blood Comes Home song, the story to this is that Thomas's dad likes listening to this, like, lounge music that you buy from Target, right? You know, in the like right next to the gift cards, that stuff, like the Island Magic music. He just had CDs of this stuff. And some reason Thomas like put one of the CDs in and played it, and it was that track, right? And we're like, that's the most ridiculous song I've ever heard. And surprisingly enough, when we wanted to do kind of like that little moment in the episode, I was like, I know exactly the song for that. And I specifically had to hunt it down because it's been over a decade since we had that song. I found it. And then the coolest thing that happened was they actually had a license to it, so it cost $5. And I was like, this is just meant to be. We got it. And then everybody else was just like, every time that came on, we were like just humming the song because it's so catchy. And it was just like $5, so we just threw it in there.
$5, baby. Hey.
I think they might have actually. The funny thing is, the license was actually expiring, and I think because we were using that song, they renewed the whole license For the
Wow.
And it was like 5. It's insane. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Who else? What do you got? Two-parter. More Balloon Shop references.
Stay tuned, 11:30 p.m. Adult Swim.
Yeah. No, they're all over the place. And especially even for my own videos, there's kind of like Easter eggs all over there. But I think, you hear Dark Juice when the blood comes home. There's a lot of Easter eggs throughout the entire thing. So yeah, you'll definitely see some more. Part 2. Thomas is actually a punch-up rider on the show. Yeah, if you saw the credits that were cut off on the screen, his name was there. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of punch-up writing, and the thing about it's like really hard to get a voice actor to voice act on the show. I was lucky enough to get him.
Yeah, maybe.
I got to audition,
But we all knew how that ended, huh?
Yeah. And I think they let him go. I think they let him be Avocado on season 1 because it's like he dies in 6 episodes. So they're like, yeah, give it to him,
We can get anybody we want, but we'll just take this guy. But we got to audition together, though. Which
Yeah,
was
that was
great,
cool.
And
That
that
was fun.
helped,
Yeah.
and they felt the energy, and they said, well,
Yeah.
we'll take that.
Who else?
Right here in the goal. He's
What's
been throwing it up.
Cool weapons, gadgets. Yeah. Yeah. I let pretty much my model with kind of the artist is I let them just do the art, and have fun. So whatever wild thing they want to come up with, I let them just go to town. And my one stipulation is that if you can buy it at Target, I don't want to see it in the show. And so they pretty much have to design and it's so funny. Sometimes it's like, it's a glass, and it's like, how do you make that or like a water pitcher? It's like, you notice it's like, you can't buy that at Target, but there was a couple of them that you could, So I was like, we're not doing any of those. Do that one. So yeah, that's my only stipulation. And then I just let them have fun, Who else? What do you got? Not Final Space related. Theater? Did I do theater? You say forensics?
Forensics?
They call it forensics?
Theater forensics.
I could have been in forensics. I've never heard of that in my entire life. I just did TV production, and my teacher hated my guts because I had to do news reports, and I specifically tried to make them I tricked them. Basically, I had to do these, I think they were called ENGs or whatever, something like that, like an electronic news package. And I remember I did one on how the lunch money, the lunches were raising up in price. They raised up 10 cents. And I did the most investigative journalism thing on this.
Oh, they don't want you catching that now.
No, yeah. And I filmed the lunch ladies from afar, and I'm like, they don't want to let their secrets out. They're planning something, and it started out real, and every time I did one, they just kind of flew off the rails, and he was like, this isn't news. And he's like, but I did the work. And I would always get a C.
Wait, where's this at?
I don't know anymore. It's Carterville High School.
We gotta find that.
Yeah.
We gotta find that video.
Yeah, and then I did basically I had a educational show. We got to make a show, right? And I called it That Entertainment Show. And the thing is, it had to report on news. And so the workaround that I did is I filmed. It had to be 30 minutes. I did literally 25 minutes of just an actual show, a sketch show, right? And then I would do a little commercial of a 2-minute blip of entertainment news, right? And then he's like, because I always found the workaround, right? He was like, he couldn't get onto me because I was doing the work, but it wasn't anything what he wanted. So yeah, I remember that. And it actually did really well. Like there was pizza guys that came up to me like, dude, that entertainment show, man. I'm watching it. Who else? What do you got? Yeah. No. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball. Well, specifically Dragon Ball, yeah. Yeah. Who else? What do you got? Yeah. I think it's just more of like a homage to something that I love, you know? It's not like ripping anything off because it's like it's but I think it's I think if they saw it they would probably crack up at that, man.
Yeah.
Who else? What do you got? I do a couple of different. It's true. Well, season 1, it was, I guess, to be the most annoying guy on the screen. The thing is, season 1, there wasn't a lot of like direction. Not a lot of people wanted to give me direction because I guess it was the creator of the show, and so I'd get in there and I would just kind of do a thing, and nobody would give me like pointers, and then I would just be like, okay, I hope that turns out, you know. Ended up that a lot of people just thought Gary was super annoying season 1.
Which works.
Yeah, which I guess kind of worked, you know,
Yeah,
if that's what I was going for.
It's a
And
director
then
view.
season 2, it's essentially what I ended up finding out after kind of really studying and asking, you know, a lot of voice actors kind of what they do. It's like finding that zero, and then everything kind of like falls off of that. You know, if you're angry, but you got to go back to your zero. Your zero is like your neutral person. The problem with season 1, Gary's neutral was his high. You know what I mean? Whereas like season 2, there's more of a neutral Gary, and he can have a high, but he's got to go back down to neutral at some point. And then anytime that I do a monster, it's just you get in there and you do something that just makes you laugh. You know, you got Tribor, who is the leader of the resistance. He's the funnest to do, and then you got Mooncake, who's you know. So you can do whatever. It's just we just get in there and have fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of chugity when we see Mooncake come back.
Yeah.
That was nice, huh?
It's good to hear a little chukity. What's up? Yeah. Pretty much all my first picks pretty much said yes. The only person that didn't say yes, and I guess I could say it now, is Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
I won't say for what role, but I remember writing him the most personal letter that I've ever written in my life. And I sent him cupcakes, and he still said no. But it was.
But we can't still give up on Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. No, I would love for it. He was. I was hoping. All right. What about you? Yeah, well, they'll come into the studio and you kind of get to direct them and stuff like that. So yeah, they'll definitely come in. Sometimes you get to voice act with them, but a lot of times for our show, it's just one person in a booth. Yeah, because our booth is very small. You can't put anybody else in there. Anybody else? What else? Jake. What does he want?
He's always in the house.
Oh, she's the most talented person I've ever seen in the booth. She does like, I guess, and I didn't know it at the time. I looked at her IMDb, and she is on every show, animated show ever. But the thing that's amazing about her is when she does ADR, it's like first take, just completely fits the voice. And I'm like, this is insane. I've seen nobody do that. Everybody else, me and you specifically, are like, let's do another take, all right? It's like the 20th take, and they're like, he's going to get it? I don't know.
Like I was saying, I like the second takes, you know?
Yeah. But she's so talented. Probably the most talented one I've ever seen.
Well, we're fortunate, though. We get to work with, like, Tom Kenny. We get to pick their brains.
Yeah.
These guys, Steven Yeun, he's been working at it for a while now and just seeing them, how they do their techniques. Yeah. So, yeah, we've been very fortunate. John DiMaggio.
It's true.
Yeah. I remember hearing Bender for the first time live in person. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, my
Yeah,
God,
it's
I'm going
great.
to see Bender.
All right. Last question. Who's got it? You. Yeah.
Man, you answer it. You answer it.
Honestly, I don't even know.
Run, the gym.
Yeah, the gym is
Driving
your answer?
around. He's got the Peloton now.
Yeah.
Get the Peloton.
I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's like my schedule is so crazy, especially coming up because I'm going out with like 3 different pitches, and it's like you just kind of got to do it. You know?
Buckle down, baby.
Yeah, you just got to buckle down and do it.
Buckle
And
down and roll.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. That's
Well,
probably the hardest question I've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging. Like with any career path that you make in life, it's just what it is. You just got to focus, visualize it, and go after what you want in life and dream. You know, we're in a land of dreams, and this is one thing Ron Perlman, which is actually one of the cast members of the show, always told me, you know, you're in the city of dreams here, dream big. And so that's definitely part of it. You always dream and just.
He always sees him at the gym.
I do. See
you
him
run
at
up
the
to
gym.
him in the gym, and you
Yeah.
have to make sure he remembers you.
Yeah, I'm like,
and then
Mr.
he gives
Perlman,
you,
I know you don't remember me or anything.
he always
but-
gives you a nugget of like inspiration, and then
He does.
you don't see him for another like 6 months, and then you bump into Ron Perlman again.
And then I'm like, Mr. Perlman, I know you don't remember me, but man, I told you one day I was going to work with you because I met him before, and I said, one day I'd love to work with you because I looked up to his work and how he moved. And then, ran into him. He was doing the voice for Final Space.
I love that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Once again, thank you so much to the Soda Parlor for all their incredible help in helping me get this set up and get this Q&A recorded for you guys. I really hope that you guys got to take a part of the party with you. We had a really great time, and it was incredible getting to meet, Olan and Coty and Shelby, and we had a really, really great time. So, some really cool stuff for you guys today. Also, when I got to go, I got some extra merch, and guess what? You guys are going to get the chance for some extra merch. So, after you listen for today's episode, you're going to head on over to the Final Space Discord, where in my chat, the Final Space Podcast chat, you're going to find a link to a Google Forms. In that forms, you're going to enter the special word. It's going to be carbon. I don't know. I just picked a word. So, you're going to enter that special word, and you're going to be entered in a chance to win a Final Space Season 2 poster or one of 2 Final Space special advertisement merch. And you can find the information for what those look like and everything over on my socials, which means, as always, follow Into Final Space on Instagram and Twitter. I'll be hitting up Instagram again this week with a new live video with another fan reviewing Season 2, Episode 2, which you guys are bound to enjoy. And, yeah, thanks for listening. And, as always, I'll see you next time on Into Final Space.